Hey guys, Karsh from OneTap. So in this video, I'll be discussing how to set up check-in codes. This video is a part of a series on how to set up a check-in process. In different series, we talk about how to do registrations, how to do check-ins, how to do checkouts, and then this is specifically part about how you can enhance the registration or the check-in process that you've already created. Check-in codes are pretty cool because they essentially help you maintain privacy. So for example, each person, so think about it like this, each person, maybe organization has an employee ID code, or maybe students have student ID codes, or maybe gym members have certain like 4 or 5 digit pins. So what we want to do is we want to utilize stuff that they already have, or maybe assign like a unique code to each person, and then we want to use that to do all the check-ins. So this way it prevents people from checking in for each other, and we also maintain more integrity in the check-in process. And also we just prevent people, for privacy reasons, we prevent people from seeing each other's names and all that. So now let's get started with the different check-in methods. So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to create the check-in codes. So we do that by going over to profiles, and I already made a video about how to create profiles and how to import all the information. What you want to do is as soon as you have profiles, this code right here, this field that says code, is where you type in the check-in code. So for example, I can give someone the check-in code 100. It does have to be unique. So for example, if I go over here and if I give this other person check-in code of 100, I'm going to get an error because it's already being used. So 101, for example. So you want to give everyone a code, and by the way, you can also import this from Excel. One of the common mistakes that we see that you want to watch out for is like if you already imported like a column that says student ID number or employee ID number, it's going to be on custom fields and it's not going to be part of the primary fields called code. How you can fix that is just literally by copying the Excel column and then calling it check-in code. We have instructions specifically around that. If you go to our help desk and you type in import Excel, you should be able to see that there's basically like a whole video on there's going to be like a whole instruction on how to format stuff and how to like basically customize that, because there are certain fields that are reserved for check-in codes. Now what you want to do is you can manually assign it or mass import these from Excel. Once you have done that, what you will want to do is you'll want to go over to the list tab and then click on and then create a specific list. So let's start with the specific check-in method with the public check-in link. So this is like the public QR code or the public check-in link, because that's like the most common one that we see people using. So let's say for example I want to create a specific list right here called volunteers check-ins, or let's just say volunteers attendance. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just set the date to like 11 a.m. my time and create the list. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here, we're gonna hit share check-in link. So by default, as soon as this is this is the page that the visitor would see, right? This is what you would share with the visitor. You would take a picture of this, or you would print this out, put it up on a wall, and then you would have the visitor scan it on their own phones and check in, or you can copy the link and send it over like WhatsApp group chat, email thread, Slack, whatever else you guys are using. At the end of the day, it's just a link. Now what's going to happen is that as soon as they come over here, they can search for their name and they can check in. So for example, if I go over here, I can search for the name Anthony and just check in. And that's just how like the name works, right? But we don't want to use names, we want to use codes. So if you notice that there's a little like black box right here with like a little so like a little like horizontal series of lines, if you click on that, you can change it to check-in code, and then this is where you can type in the check-in code and then identify that person. So 100 was given to Adam and 101 was given to Henderson. Now how do we force this link to only use like codes and not use names? Because we don't want people to type in like AN and be able to see all the names, right? So what we do is we'll go over here and we will go over to our list. It's going to be right here, list tab, and then we're going to hit share check-in link again, go back to that same modal, and then hit settings again and change this to check-in codes only. This is going to force that link to only use check-in codes. And on the recurring list, I believe if you change it up on the parent, it should just follow the same structure for all the kids and everything, because if I change it up over here, if I click on it, I'm going to see the check-in code show up, and that's for the September 23rd list. We made a whole video about how recurring lists works, and like how there's child lists that are created, and how like if you change something on the parent level, it does work on all the child lists as well. Now we go inside here, and then yeah, same thing. You can go through here or back there. We already changed that to check-in code. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a check-in now, and then we're gonna reload this link. So this is again what the visitor would see on their own phone. So I'm on the laptop, so this is what I'm seeing. But if I go over here and if I kind of copy paste this into this like little iPhone simulator that I have, this is what we're gonna be seeing. Yeah, so I just typed in the link right there, and what I see is let's get you checked in, and here's the check-in code, and that's like the same thing that we see right here. So now let's type in a check-in code. So let's type in 101 that I signed to Anderson. It says continue, and it'll say register and check-in. They can also add a photo right here, by the way. Yeah, and then also look at the attendance history, but those are like features that are related more. We made more, like we made a video about public check-in links, and those features are explained on there. And they can also leave a check-in note. So yeah, it's simple as that. We've checked in with check-in codes. You can also check out with check-in codes, because if we go over here to list options and settings, and we turn on checkout, we can also go back here and we can like type in the same check-in code into this box. 101, continue, checkout. Yeah, so there it is. So 9:45 a.m. Yeah, so that's pretty much how check-in code works on the public check-in links. Now let's talk about other different check-in methods and how those are going to work. So we're going to move on to as far as with check-in methods, we're going to move on to the iOS side, and we're going to look at how the iOS admin app sees it, because on the admin side, we don't really check in with check-in codes. We're just kind of going through names and stuff like that. And the same thing on the dashboard, like it's just mostly there for you to like kind of reference to be like, hey, here's someone's check-in code. But we don't use it because it's an admin, and all the admin check-in methods, we already know who that person is, and we've already maybe verified by looking at their face or just by confirming their identity. So like we're not, these are only going to be applicable to self check-in methods. So now let's move on to the how it will work with the iPad kiosk. So the iPad kiosk is probably the second most popular public check-in method, or the visitor-facing check-in method. So you want to go over and launch the iOS app, and then open up the specific list. So volunteers attendance. And then you want to go over here and put it into kiosk mode. By tapping on that, it's going to say, how would you like to use this iPad? Kiosk, done. So now what we're going to do is we'll go over here where it says enter your name. This is similar to the public check-in link in a sense that it's listing out all the visitors. They can search for their name and they can check in like the same as before. But what we can do is we can go over here to the settings, and we can say how should, like in the check-in options right here, we can say we want to get rid of like the search by name, and we want to have it just only be searched by check-in code, and we want to hit that done button so that it saves. And who can check in, leave it to everyone. There's specific videos about this that we made on the kiosk and which list they can check into. For the purposes of this demo, I'm just going to keep it only to like the visitors attendance list, because that's just the list that we're working with, and hit the done button. Now it's going to say enter your check-in code to continue. So now see, automatically you don't see everyone's names here. You only see the people whose check-in codes are matched exactly. So 100 is for Adam, 101 was for Anderson. So I'm going to pick 100 for Adam, and then hit register and check-in. The reason why it says register and check-in is because that person's not on that list already, and I checked in Adam. Now let's do a checkout as well. So enter your check-in code, type in 101 or 100, and it's gonna say checkout because we've already checked in. Done. So easy as that. We've checked in Adam with using check-in codes, and then also there's more information here, such as the location, as well as like, for example, how the check-in was done. If you expand this out, like it's gonna say it was done with the tap check-in method. Yeah. And by the way, this also does work with other check-in attachments, such as like, for example, like surveys and stuff like that, surveys, photos, etc. So the check-in code is literally only used to identify the specific, like the check-in code is literally only used to identify the specific profile, and then afterwards everything else like photo, signature, and all that is going to work. Now let's go back and let's look at the visitor app and how the visitor app is going to work. And then the individual QR code passes is not applicable here. The reason why is because the QR passes for individual people are used to identify who they are. So that basically is like in conflict with check-in codes, because either you use check-in codes, you tell members to know their codes, or you use the QR code passes that's been given to them. So I've got the iPhone running right here, and then I've got the dashboard over here. So I'm gonna pick a third person for my list. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna pick, and I'm gonna say the check-in code over here is 102. And what we do is we'll go over here and we'll do the share check-in link again. On the visitor app running on my iPhone, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the scan button, scan QR code from the visitor app, and then scan the QR code that's present, and then literally right here, you see how it says search by name. What you want to do is you want to go over here and we want to change it to check-in codes in the settings right there. And then right here, as soon as we type in 102, it's going to find Caleb as well. And then we hit Caleb, and then we want to hit continue as Caleb, and then there we go, register and check-in, and that's going to be done. They can also check out from the same page as well, so which is kind of nice because it can just be done one after another. And just to recap right here on this home screen, it's gonna say enter your check-in code to continue. So it's not gonna say enter his name. Also, another thing is that if you've already checked in as Caleb, this is one of the biggest advantages of the visitor app, is that it remembers who you checked in as. So if you want to continue, you can just hit, for example, if you're doing multiple check-in sessions, like you left the location and you want to come back in, you can just go over here and you can, continue, and you can say check in again, and it will even tell you like, hey, how long has it been since you last checked in, and like when you last checked out. So that's kind of nice with the visitor app. It just remembers who they are and where they checked into. So yeah, that's pretty much a quick video on how check-in codes work. Just to recap, you can go over here and you can set the check-in codes on each person's profile, and then you can use those check-in codes with different check-in methods, such as like the public check-in link that we covered. The universal check-in link is pretty much just the same thing. It just forwards over to the individual links. It just shows you all the lists in one place. And we talked about how to do this with the iPad kiosk app and how to do this with the visitor app. The check-in codes are not compatible with the admin sites, because you as an admin are identifying the profile. The visitors are not doing it themselves. It's not compatible with the SMS check-in methods as of right now. And then on the individual QR code pass side, it doesn't really make sense, because those individual QR code passes are used to identify which visitor is checking in. And then, yeah, that's pretty much a quick overview of how check-in codes and how they work. You can also download the report. You can do export attendance and just do it by profiles. This will give you like an attendance summary of all the profiles, but this can also be used to look at the check-in codes that are assigned to each person. As an example, I just downloaded all the profiles that are on my account. If I just do format autofit column width, I can see that over here. The first column that I see here is called check-in codes, and then there's all the names. So if you do have any doubts or any confusions, right, like around who has what check-in code, I would just recommend downloading the report and then taking a look at who has what check-in code, and this is going to be the column right here that displays it. Yeah, that right there. Cool. Let us know if you have any questions. This is going to be posted on our community page. As always, we open discussions. You just go to our community.onetapcheckin.com and you can access all the different videos as well as all the different topics.